Hello there. We're back again to this week's episode. My name is Rosanna Bedoro, Right for Shirt, and you're welcome to Read Time with Right. Alright, so we'll continue our series on wife materialness. There's something like that. And today, in answering the person's question, like I told you, I will just be taking you guys on a journey, so please stay with me. There's a second. If you didn't watch the first episode, it's right here on the page, and all the podcasts you listen to, you can go back to listen to it. Yes, so I want to talk about, I explained in the last episode, based on my faith and based on my belief and my experiences, what I believe a proper or a wife should be. Now, we have some, and I told us towards the end of that broadcast that people have different ideologies of what wife should be. So today I want to talk about the trophy wife. Now, or some people call it trophy girlfriend, but since my question was based on wife, I won't go to the trophy girlfriend. So trophy wife. This was a word that was coined by Junior Conley. It was first used in the 1950s, but more modern in 1989 in the Fortune magazine, and by Julia, she was an editor. She coined it because she realized that men in that era, which has even up till now, they still do it. The trophy wife is for the benefit of the man. It's like for a status symbol. The wife sees, and the man sees that woman as a possession, as something he buys, as a prized possession. And most of those relationships are open relationships. It's actually supposed to be a derogatory term, but I have seen a lot of women aspiring, in fact, even dreaming to be trophy wives. Why? Because a trophy wife probably, there's nothing like cooking, nothing like cleaning, nothing like even giving birth. Some have that clause. They tell you they don't want anything to affect your shape. The men are very particular with who they choose, so they tell you they don't want anything to affect your shape. So the kids are out of the table. You have people running around. You have a hairdresser. You have one who's responsible for everything that you do and all that. Even though I know some wives who are really, really wife, for my first explanation, have all these things, but basically a trophy wife is gotten for the man, for the status of the man. It's usually an older man and a very young lady. So the age gap is usually 20, 30 years difference. And this man, you're just there. He may have his been married before, maybe divorcee, whatever. That doesn't matter. Usually the relationship is an open one. You're allowed to maybe have a relationship somewhere else, but you must be available at his beck and call. For different meetings, different outings. He spends money because he needs you to really look nice. Those are the types that force ladies to go into different surgeries, so you could look. You look like his imagination, like how he wants you to look, and you really don't have a say on his wealth or anything, but he will spend anything he really wants to spend on you, and you can have kids. Some actually depends on the agreement, but majorly you can have kids because they don't really want anything to affect your shape. But if you eventually do have kids, you really have to work your butts off to ensure that you get back to shape all the way. And it really doesn't last, not all trophy, because sometimes it's signed for a particular period of time, and we subject. It's like a contract and subject to review and all that. So some people even are looking forward, looking for men who will make them trophy wives and all that. To each their own. But I think that that is someone exploiting your youth, because you except if you have very good genes that you can keep up with your looks, 50, 60. Trophy wives usually ends averagely, from the research I did, at age 40 or 45 tops. So you see, your whole youth has been spent with someone looking at you or taking you as a possession, taking you as, follow me to this meeting, follow me to this. He just wants to brag, have you seen my beautiful wife and all that. You guys have no connectivity, there's no connection. You're not the helpmate that I described in the first thing. You're not helping him do anything. You're just there. He may even have a helpmate in his life. He flirts a lot, takes you to parties. You're just there to boost his ego, boost his social standing in the society and all that. So these are men that have a lot of money to throw away and all that. So I don't think that is wise, because of material things, because of money, that you allow your youth to be wasted like that, especially with the one that comes with the plus of having kids, and maybe you really want to have one, so you would just be living your life for someone. And most of these people aren't joking with you. It's not just words of mouth. There's a factual contract, so even when you're tired and want to leave, you really can't. So I don't think that is advisable. So if you're a young lady and you've been thinking about that and thinking that that's living the life, I don't think it's correct. You can be a trophy wife to your husband. What I mean by trophy wife, because most people is what comes with with it that is attracting them. You can genuinely be with a man that cares and loves you, and he will provide all those things. So it's not, if you don't necessarily need to have that, mentality that, oh, I must be with only an older millionaire or billionaire, and to be happy. Most of these trophies I went from research, in the initial glamour, initial glam, initial everything, they like it, but down the line, after staying 10 years in the whole thing, 5 years in it, they get depressed, they get tired. Some, it doesn't end well, they become suicidal. Some who are able to wither it, who are strong-willed, they just become depressed, and at the end they begin to look for true love, and they may not be able to even know the difference, because you see, these guys camouflage and make it look like they're in love with you and all that, but really it's for themselves. And you, the lady, now you're so taken with materialism that even when a young person, or even when someone comes that loves you, you begin to measure a man's worth by the money he has, and you miss out on someone who would really love you or take care of you, and the rest. So this trophy wife, I know some people look forward to it, but if you're a Christian and all that, you should know that it's not biblical. I'm not saying a man shouldn't take care of his wife. Like I said, I would address what a man should be doing, but you shouldn't set out, in your thinking as a teen and say, oh, I would just want to be a trophy wife. No. You should do, there are a lot of things that come with it. A lot of stress that these people don't really tell you. A lot of things come with being a trophy wife. You really don't have a life of your own. It's like your life is owned. You're living on a borrowed this thing. Your life is owned by someone else. Can dictate for you where you should be, where you should go, and all those things. So it's not advisable as a young lady, especially as a young Christian lady, to begin to dream or say you want to be a trophy. Like if you're a trophy wife and you're depressed and all that, you can. If it's not greed, you can cancel the contract. And the only thing is that, okay, money that was supposed to be paid to you and all that won't be paid. But I think it's better. Your life is better than any money that you think you want to acquire or gather. And most of the time, these trophy women are into drugs and all that to be able to cope with the stress and the demand. And sometimes the money is even that you even get is spent on drugs. So at the end, you really didn't have the money to invest or to do some things with it. So if you have had something of value from the first 2 episodes, please stick with me next week as we look at another aspect of this wife materialism. And of course, a lot of people say this trophy wife, they don't count it. Anybody who has this idea or says they want to be a trophy wife, most men don't count such women as wife material, quote unquote. Alright, so my social media handles are on the screen now. So please, you can connect with me and I'll be glad that you did. Bye.